Hello students, welcome to Daily Shiksha. We are going to begin with chapter 3 of civics, political parties. I'm sure you all know what political parties are. If not, I'm obviously sure that you know that they have different symbols and that's how we mostly identify them. There are many different logos, all different political parties have all logos. And we have seen in the previous chapter that the work of giving the logos to the political parties rests with the Election Commission. Let us now understand more about political parties. Module 1 is a general understanding of political parties. So, political parties क्या होती है? What is the basic meaning of political parties? So, there are many different people in society. कोई लोग ऐसे होते हैं जिनका मेन गोल होता है कि हम पावर में आए and we form the government. There are many people who think this, and from them there are many others who share common ideologies. So when people form organizations with the aim and the objective of achieving political power and they want to participate in the electoral process, then such organizations would be called political parties. So किसी भी ग्रुप को political parties बनने के लिए दो conditions बहुत important है. Condition number 1, their only goal should be to achieve political power, and next they must be willing to participate in the electoral process to gain this power. Political parties is the face of democracy. अगर हम democracy की बात करते हैं तो सबसे पहली चीज जो हमारे दिमाग में आती है वो है political parties. These political parties are a very important link which connects the common people, democracy, representation and elections. So political parties basically holds all the citizens and the countries and the government, everything together. We hear a lot of information every day about political parties. Whatever we read about the democracy or our government, everything is related to the different political parties. All over the world, there are many democratic countries, and all these democratic countries have different political parties. So, political parties exist in all the democratic systems. In fact, अगर political parties को एक दूसरे के साथ compete करना है, तो वो सिर्फ एक democratic government में possible है. So they can compete with each other only in democracy. Political parties, क्योंकि वो एक group है of people, we also say that it is one kind of a social organization. But it is very different from the working of social organizations. ये difference है उनके style of working में and also in the goals that they want to achieve. Political parties have different goals and they have different styles of working than other social organizations. Political parties में जो भी लोग हैं, it's an organization of people and they are formed with the objective so that they can achieve political power and they will participate in the electorate process. So, political parties is basically a group of people who aims to contest elections. They also want to win elections. They want to get power and then they want to establish the government of their party. Political parties समझने के लिए we also need to understand the characteristics of political parties. So, what are the characteristics of political parties? Some of the most important characteristics are to be in power, to pursue an ideology, to have a party agenda, to establish a government, and to act as a link between the government and the people. Let us gain a slightly better understanding of these points. To be in power. Political parties का main objective है power achieve करना, power में आना. Power में आने के लिए they have to compete with many different political parties. They have to keep in mind that when they are competing with these different political parties, ये competition fair और healthy होना चाहिए. Next is to pursue an ideology. जो भी political parties हैं, it is very important that they have some ideology. So every political party has some policies and some views about the world around them. All the political parties have a different stand and a particular stand about the different social issues of our country. All the party members together decide and make a party ideology. When any political party receives support for their party ideology, it is called mass base. In the modern days, बहुत सारी political parties हैं आज के time पे. Everybody is mostly fighting or having the same thing in mind. Their ideologies are somewhat overlapping. For example, removal of poverty, increase in literacy rates, better educational facilities, better technology for our country. So it is very difficult to identify any political party in today's times on the basis of their ideology. क्योंकि सबकी ideology एक ही है. So it appears to be very similar. The next important characteristics, also one of the most important of a political party, is to have a party agenda. अब उनकी आइडियोलॉजी तो बन गई और उनके पार्टी आइडियोलॉजी के बेसिस पे हर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी अपना एक पार्टी का एजेंडा बनाती है. अगर उनको पॉलिटिकल पावर मिलता है, once they come to power, after that they will implement their party agenda. Next is to establish a government. Political parties जो हैं, they establish the government and then they govern the nations. So उन्होंने voting में part लिया, they participated in elections, they won the votes, they formed the majority. Once they form the majority, they form the government. And after forming the government, they start governing the nation. Political party which gets the majority number of votes will form the government and is called the ruling party. The parties which do not get a majority, they act as the opposition parties. The most important function again is to act as a link between the government and the people. Political parties जो है वो एक link है between the common citizens of the country like us and the government. लोगों की जो भी डिमांड्स हैं, जो भी नीड्स हैं, जो भी कंप्लेंट्स हैं, ये पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज कन्वे करती है, कम्युनिकेट करती है टू द गवर्नमेंट. In this way, the government will then try to support the people in forms of different policies and different programs. Recently, हमने देखा है कि पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज का नेचर कंटिन्यूअसली चेंज होते रहा है. अगर हमारी सोसाइटी इज एवर चेंजिंग, अगर सोसाइटी इज एवर डायनामिक, तो हमारा पॉलिटिक्स इज ऑल्सो अ पार्ट ऑफ सोसाइटी एंड सो श्योर इट इज ऑल्सो बाउंड टू चेंज. सबसे पहले कांग्रेस एक स्ट्रॉन्ग पार्टी हुआ करती थी इन द पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस पीरियड. कांग्रेस ऐसी पार्टी थी जिसको सेंटर में मेजॉरिटी वोट्स मिलते थे और वो ही पावर में आती थी ऑल्सो इन मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टेट्स ऑफ आवर कंट्री. इसके लिए इस पूरे एरा को वी डिस्क्राइब इट एज द एरा ऑफ द सिंगल डोमिनेंट पार्टी सिस्टम. ये इसलिए भी था बिकॉज द इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस वाज द पार्टी that led the freedom struggle of India, and that is the only major reason for its popularity in the few years after independence. उसके बाद चीजें थोड़ी चेंज होने लगी, पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम का नेचर चेंज होने लगा. The non-Congress parties, they came together and they started challenging this single dominant party system from 1977. उसके बाद after the 1989 लोकसभा elections, the system of one party emerging as the dominant party came to an end. Different parties came together. अगर कोई भी ऐसी parties हैं जिनको majority नहीं मिलती, so they can come together, join hands and jointly govern the country. These type of governments are called a coalition government. So बहुत सारी अलग parties आई and they formed many coalition governments. Both the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress have made an experiment of establishing these coalition governments. Party system. There are three main types of party systems: one party system, two party system and multi-party system. ये कैसे divide हुआ है या कैसे classify हुआ है? This is mainly classified on the basis of number of political parties that are performing in any country. One party system, as the name suggests, there is just one political party और power इसी party में transfer होते रहता है. So if the power remains with only one political party for a very long period of time and there are no other political parties, then it will be called a one party system. For example, China. टू पार्टी सिस्टम, अगर कोई ऐसी कंट्री है जहां पे दो ही मेन पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैं और बोथ ऑफ देम एंजॉय पावर वन आफ्टर द अदर और ऑल्टरनेटिवली, इट विल बी कॉल्ड अ टू पार्टी सिस्टम लाइक द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका. द मल्टी पार्टी सिस्टम एक प्रॉपर डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम को जस्टिफाई करता है. when there are many different political parties who are competing for power, ये हर कोई influential है, then it is called a multi-party system. For example, India. Try and answer these questions. Dash had a majority at the center and in most of the states. The single dominant party system was challenged in when political parties enjoy power alternatively, the party system is called. Name the coalition governments led by the Congress and the BJP. Give your opinion about family monopoly in politics. When people come together and participate in electoral process to acquire political power, then such organizations are called. Party which fails to secure a majority is known as. Social support received by a political party is called. The main objective of a political party is to capture, dash and retain it. Thank you, and I'll see you soon for our next part.